Hello, my name is Stacia and welcome to my channel for a little movie talk. This video, I just wanted to, talk about some movies that I've seen. This week, I focused on some new movies. I usually watch a lot of classics, a lot of older movies, but I do also watch new movies. And so in this last week or so, I have watched 3 newer movies. The movies are, the first one is Bullet Train, the Brad Pitt movie, based on a Japanese novel. It's like Brad Pitt's John Wick turn. It's a fun movie. I mean, it's light except for all the killing. I enjoyed it. It worked. I was entertained. Although Brad Pitt did not take off his shirt in this, and I feel like in Brad Pitt movies, a lot of them, there has to be some gratuitous Brad Pitt shirtless scene. But oh well, he is getting older, so maybe, he's like, no more shirtless Brad. One of the other movies I watched was Steven Spielbergs' The Fabelmans, semi-autobiographical. He based it on his childhood and his family, but some things are a little bit different. It was enjoyable, very much nostalgic, very much in the vein of this is the twilight of my life and let me reminisce about childhood. Typical Steven Spielberg, it sort of follows him as a young kid getting interested in filmmaking and, his beginnings and his relationship with his family. The other movie that I watched was The Glass Onion. You're going to follow this detective and he's going to be in different movies with solving different mysteries. I would suspect there's going to be more of these. I find it enjoyable. They're fun. They're like old style where you had a cavalcade of stars in it, and this stars quite a lot of people besides just, the only returning character is Daniel Craig from Knives Out, and he of course is the detective in it that you're going to follow through these mysteries. And I don't think it's as good as Knives Out, but it was certainly enjoyable, very watchable, and it's an entertaining time. And so that is what I watched this last week or two. And other than that, we're through the holidays, we're to a new year, and I'm starting this channel and trying to learn what I'm doing. Probably can tell that I have absolutely no idea, but I always grew up loving to watch movies. They are an escape for me. And my dad was a movie fan when he was young, and he used to work in movie theaters when he was younger, that time when a theater manager was more of a real job than, now theaters are struggling. But in his day, they were invited to things, and he managed a theater in the Santa Barbara area. And during those days, which was this late 60s, early 70s, they got invited to things like movie premieres and parties and all this stuff. So I guess that's what instilled my love of movies from an early age. Always going to the movie theater up into like teenage years, where I would go to the movies once a day. Where I lived, the movies during the week were only $1.25. So I would go with my friend Claire, and we would just go to the movies and watch what was ever on during the day. After school, we would do our homework and then walk down to the movie theater. And after a while, my brothers worked there, so I got to see a lot of them free. But like I said, they were $1.25 during the weekdays, and on weekends they were like $3. Those were the days. So I got to see a lot of things in the theater. Those were during my teenage years. During the earlier years, we would go a lot as a family, and it really meant a lot to me. And then when I got older, there was a time where just my dad and I would go to the movie theaters together in late teens, early 20s, and saw a lot of movies with my dad, which was always an enjoyable experience. Times are a little bit different now. Not as many people go to the movie theater, but I still like to see a movie in the theater. There is nothing like that experience. I think a lot of the movies that you think of as classics, big films that are known by everybody, the way they got that way was by being in a movie theater. So there was a chatter about them. Everybody saw it with an audience as once. And, you know, there's a lot of things to be said about that audience experience. Can put a lot into the movie, especially when you're watching like an action movie, or a comedy, something that elicits a big response from an audience can really add to the atmosphere of watching it, and it really becomes sort of a, I don't know, an event in your mind. It really cements the memory. And I'm not discounting watching movies at home. I more often than not watch movies at home now, and I mean, I like that too. You can't discount that if you watch classic films from the, you know, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, that most likely the first time you saw them was at home on video or on TV back in the day when they used to have the late shows and everything, and those have a big impact on you as well. I would say any way you can watch a movie, do it. Some of us have limitations where going to the movie theater is not an option from us. There's a lot of towns, you know, in this country that don't have movie theaters. You have to travel to like a few towns over to see them. It is not like in the 30s and 40s and 50s where every town had a theater, and that's okay. Do I want to see movie theaters go away? No, I don't. Like I said, it is by far my favorite way to watch a movie, but I understand the limits of that, and I understand it's not feasible for a lot of us. There are physical limitations, there are financial limitations. Like I said, there is location. I would like to see more drive-in movies pop up, because, you know, that's a fun experience for the whole family, trying to load into the car, watch a movie. There's few of those that exist anymore, but if you have one near you, I would suggest doing it because it's a fun experience. So like I said, I am new to doing this, and I'm still trying to figure out all of the editing, the being able to talk to the camera, figuring out what to film. All I know is I like to talk about movies. I needed an outlet. I've had a lot of things in my life happen the last several years that has, you know, kind of changed my life. But one thing that was always constant was me watching the movies, from being a little girl in the late 70s to, you know, childhood in the 80s up and, you know, until now. And I needed an outlet, and I wanted to share that with the world. So like I said, I'm still trying to figure things out and see what this can become. And even, you know, if nobody's watching this, I, you know, like to keep doing it, and it gives me a purpose and a focus to focus on movies, which, you know, I love. And I'd like for you to join me. I'd like for people to subscribe. I'd like for people to watch. I'd like for people to comment and share a conversation about movies. What's your favorite movie? What's your, you know, least favorite movie? What genres would you like? What would you like to see more of movies made and everything? I think it's the great, you know, movie democracy. One person's, it's my doggy. One person's favorite genre is another person's least favorite genre, and I'd like this to be a place where people who are passionate about movies come to go, I hate Marvel movies, but I like this. And another person go, well, I love Marvel movies. Here's why I love them. And it gives a chance for us to see the other person's perspective. Why do I love heavy dramas and you think they're the most boring thing known to man? Why do I need things to blow up in every movie? Or my philosophy is any type of movie can be a good movie, and don't limit yourself to being like, well, I don't like this type of movie. There is always a chance that a movie in a genre you regularly don't enjoy could become your favorite movie. Every movie has a potential of being good. And also, some bad movies that just are horrible are enjoyable as hell to watch. And don't discount that. There is such thing as so bad it's good. And there also is such thing as movies that by and large aren't the best movies, but they broke ground in cinema. They introduced a style or a concept that was new or the way they shot it. And if you like movies like me, that is exciting to watch as well. You acknowledge that a movie was not the best, but so-and-so's performance was one of the greatest things that you've ever seen. And on the other hand, there's, I believe, something to be said for the perfect movie. And a lot of directors have their perfect movie that you watch and it's like, that was their pinnacle. And then they make that movie that is the pinnacle, and sometimes it seems like they never reach that level again. But it's beautiful to see when it happens, when somebody makes the perfect film. I am trying to see what this channel will become. Like I said, it'll always have a movie focus, whether or not it's like this where I'm just sitting there talking about movies and introducing some movies that I watched and what I thought of them, like quick reviews. But I like just sitting here and talking about movies. I like studying and reading a lot about movies also, and movie history. So my mom understands this, and for Christmas, she got me some movie books. So we have Cinematic Cities, and this one is New York, the Big Apple on the big screen. So I will look forward to reading this. And then she also got me A Light in the Dark, the history of motion picture directors. That should be an interesting read. And last thing she got me that is film related, she got me a movie history, a survey. So that will be a fun read. I mean, I also read like textbooks from film classes. She got me one of those ones. But these should be fun reads. I always love a good cinema history book or biographies on different movie stars. Maybe I'll feature that in certain of these, let's call them movie vlogs, where I just talk about, a movie that I read or research that I did. Like I said, I really, want to see what this becomes. And like I said, it gives me an outlet. I needed something to distract me from certain things that have gone on in my life that have happened the last several years that, like I said, have changed my life drastically. And hopefully this is something I enjoy doing. So far, I enjoy doing it. And last month was really a way for me to just do it, get it done, do it, prove to myself, hey, you can do this, you can get this out there, whether people or not watch it. I mean, I get a kick out of the fact that, 30, 50, 60 people watch these things. And I have 5 subscribers right now. And I really haven't told anybody except my husband that I'm doing this. So, even that to me is like, ooh, I have fans and there's only 5 of them. Would I like to see that number grow? Yes, I would. I would love to see that grow. And like I said, grow into a discussion where we all just discuss movies, or you suggest different movies to watch to me, or if I've seen them, we discuss them together. Like I'll read the comments, you guys ask me questions, and I can comment on that. And that would be great for me, and hopefully other people that love movies, or people that have been having a lot going on in their lives and need an outlet and love movies and want to talk to people about them. That could be it. And my dog will join us in the background sometimes. His name is Max. I don't know, I'm just excited to see what I can do with this, how much I can learn. I'm fascinated about learning video editing. I'm really bad at it right now, but you guys start somewhere and it can only go up from here. So I kind of like this format where I just talk about stuff and I just include, at the top of movies that I've watched. And I also, every year, I watch the Oscars and we can talk about that. And I was thinking about having a series because decades now I have tried to watch at least most of the nominees for Oscars. And I know a lot of the Oscar nominees are small films that people are like, I've never seen them or never heard of them, or they're depressing and they don't ever nominate anything popular and everything like that. And I have found enjoyment of just taking the nominees and watching the movies. And it gives me a better understanding of why these movies would be nominated. So I encourage you to do that. If you love watching movies, watch as many movies as you can, no matter what genre. Step out of your comfort zone. Give a movie a try that you would never watch in a genre, you know, that you usually don't like, you might hate it. But you watched it and you'll either feel like that's a couple of hours of my life that I can't get back, or you will find a new appreciation and maybe find a movie that you would have never given a chance was the best movie that you've seen in the year. Hopefully. I like it when that happens more than the I wasted 2 hours of my life type of thing. But, well, I have rambled on and on. Like I said, my name is Stacia. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you watch. I would love for you to subscribe or comment, especially if you love movies as much as I do. I hope to see you next time for a little bit more of this movie talk. Bye.